Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. This episode is going live on New Year's Eve. What a treat. But of course, I'm recording it before Christmas, and we are taking a little bit of a break just next week for Christmas, 1 week off. But we're just like moving and grooving, you guys. I used to take so much time off the podcast for kind of the winter season and the summer season. And now we're in such a better flow and routine with the content that I don't really feel like I have to take the breaks to stay afloat. It's like I get to take the break, which is really cool. So I figured going into the new year, this would be the perfect time to share with you guys the one new thing that I will be creating in 2025. I can't even believe that my business plan going into 2025 is so simple. And it feels so good, and I'm so excited. It's really, truly never felt this organized before. Like, I never really felt like I've gone into an entire year already knowing what I was doing and what I was working on. And that's a really good, peaceful feeling. And yeah, I'm only building one new thing, and it's very small and very special. So grab your popcorn and get ready to be inspired, because whether you're interested in it or not, I hope that you leave feeling something. So let's get to it. Welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth Henson. I help creative business owners and artists build communities around your brand so that business is easy and profitable. When you stay in action, yes, I mean even messy action, only good things happen. We are always learning, and when we can get just as excited about the lessons as the results, magic happens. I've helped million-dollar companies with their marketing, but my mission in this world is to help you step into the best possible version of yourself so you can create your dream business too. We believe in community and people over strategies and tactics. Our theme here at the Messy Success Podcast is the 1% adventure, where we're focusing on getting 1% better every single day. I want you to color outside the lines and embrace the messy journey to take daily action towards your goals. If you've noticed a plateau in your business, we've created a very quick quiz where you can find out your next best move. Head over to elizabethhenson.co/next to find out. Now let's get started. All right. So as you know, the podcast is really where I get to the nitty gritty, the behind the scenes. I am sharing things with you guys a little bit differently than I would typically share them with the world. I don't know why. I think just because I am using my voice and it feels like we're sitting down having a cup of coffee together. I can go a little deeper. I can be a little bit more vulnerable. Social media is always so quick, right? It's just like, how can we be as quick as possible and get our point across, or hopefully inspire people a little bit? So the context to this new offer is I've known that I want to do it for a long time. So Elevate is my group coaching program. It is my baby. I absolutely love it. I could do nothing but Elevate from now on and be happy, because it allows me to be so creative within the container, and it's scalable. We're figuring out how to scale it as we go, but the program is scalable. So I don't have to create anything new, but I have known for a long time that I wanted to create another piece of my ascension model. Basically, the ascension model is your customer journey. So when people, quote unquote, graduate from Elevate, I want them to have a higher level container to go into. And I have a lot of experience hosting masterminds, being in masterminds, free ones, paid ones, you name it. Facilitating is one of my superpowers. And when I was in Sedona with James, this was what I brought to my hot seat, was basically that I have 2025 mapped out to hit my revenue goals with Elevate and, a few of my other revenue streams. But I really wanted his feedback on creating this new offer. And I knew I wanted it to be kind of something along the lines of a mastermind. And that's really all I knew. So he gave me a lot of good tips and a lot of feedback. And masterminds are really all about me interviewing the people rather than the people interviewing me. So I don't have to have all the answers to facilitate a mastermind. I just need to know how to bring the people together and bring out the best of the group, because you bring really smart, incredible people together, you're going to create so much magic. And it doesn't always have to be me doing the teaching or the coaching, right? Like, that's the whole point, is you're raising the frequency of the room by really curating who's in the room based on where they are in their journey. Are they a good fit as far as the culture and the core values and all of that? So this will be application only. But let me tell you about it first. Otherwise, it's just going to sound like one big long sales pitch. And this is so much bigger than that. So I left Sedona knowing I was going to do it. Got a lot of really good feedback from James on kind of how, but I still didn't really know the what, or like the how I'm going to launch it and get it out there and what that looks like. And when I was at Business by Design Live, of course, I figured all of that out, right? So we did it. We figured it out. So at the event, I got this really crystal clear download on the theme of the mastermind, because I knew that I didn't really just want it to feel like Elevate, but people who are making more money, right? Like that really, I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to feel like a different theme, like a different thing that we're working on. And it came to me so clearly at the event. And that's what I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to read another story to you. So I told you in the last podcast episode that when I was on the plane flying home, I was just like testing out a new process where I would brain dump some of these really impactful, to me at least, moments into stories. And then I would then clean up the stories and have them ready to share with you guys or share with whoever. So just a little bit of context for the story I'm about to read. Every year at Business by Design Live, James chooses a nonprofit, a charity, something that collectively as a group we raise money for. And this year's nonprofit is called Charity Water. You guys can just Google Charity Water and find it. It's a pretty big, legit organization. It's very cool. And last year, it was the Hair of the Dog Conservation Fund, which I made a donation to, which is how I ended up in Sedona. So every year he does this. And this year, it was Charity Water. And Charity Water started with one person 18 years ago. So if in the story, I'm going to mention kind of the water guy. And that's really what I mean, is the one person that started this charity. And Charity Water is really powerful. I mean, he spent an entire hour talking about the mission and how, over 900 million people on the planet don't have clean water, and it's poisoning their children, and people are dying and they're getting cancer literally from the water that they're drinking. And the women would have to hike in horrible conditions for like 9 miles just to bring home one jug of dirty water. And the stories, the entire audience was completely captivated and crying, and it was really moving. So just, think about a time that you have been really, really moved by a charity or an organization that's literally changing the world. And I just want you to kind of picture that as I'm reading the story about Charity Water. Okay. And this is a great follow-up to my last episode, because in the last episode I talked about, changing seats and how I moved to the back. And, so I was literally sitting in the back next to one of the BBD students who I love as I, was watching this presentation. Okay. The Bigger Purpose Mastermind, Crafting a Legacy Together. I sat in the back row of the conference room, captivated by the story of Charity Water. As the founder's journey unfolded, tears quietly streamed down my face. 18 years ago, one man had a vision, a spark of belief that clean water should be accessible to everyone. Today, that single idea has grown into a movement that's saving lives on a massive scale. He could actually achieve his mission to make sure the entire planet has clean water before he dies. I couldn't help but wonder, what if we could find 6 people at the same starting point, the water charity guys of the future, each with a dream to change the world in their own unique way. The reality of pursuing such dreams is daunting. Fear, doubt, and the enormity of the mission often holds us back. We question if we're capable, if the vision is even possible, if we have what it takes to make it real. But here's the truth. You don't need to know how to finish. You just need to know to take the next step. Now imagine being in a room with 7 driven, creative minds, each on fire with a dream that could change lives. Picture brainstorming sessions where every impossible roadblock is met with collective problem solving by incredibly smart and driven humans. The leaders of our future. The challenges might seem insurmountable alone, but together, the seemingly unachievable becomes inevitable. Charity Water didn't raise millions overnight. It started with one tiny step, one tiny action that snowballed into a movement. And that's the heart of this mastermind, a place where big, audacious dreams are broken into small, doable steps. Together, we'll face fears, design strategies, and support one another to keep moving forward. Creativity, determination, and love can solve any problem, and we'll prove it. I don't need to be the next Charity Water guy myself. I know my purpose is to hold space for 6 people to step into their extraordinary potential. My gift is in helping people see their highest selves and then guiding them to become that person. This mastermind isn't just about ideas, it's about transformation. Yours, your works, and the world's. The version of you that achieves this massive vision already exists. She's waiting for you to step into her shoes. Through this mastermind, you'll not only develop strategies to make your dream a reality, but also embody the leader that you need to be to achieve it. In 18 years, we might look back together at a ripple effect so big, it's changed the course of history. And it starts here, it starts now, and it starts with you. So are you ready to take the next step? If your heart is pounding and your palms are sweaty and you can't stop thinking about the what ifs, this might be your sign. Let's turn the impossible into the inevitable together. So, the theme of my mastermind is the Bigger Purpose Mastermind. Originally, I was going to call it the Expansion Mastermind. And again, the name could change. I need to do a little research, make sure I'm not infringing on any trademarks. I still have work to do on the back end of things. But for the purpose of this podcast episode, and again, not knowing the full how, but getting started, that's going to do for now, the Bigger Purposed Mastermind. And I am looking for 6 individuals who have a mission bigger than themselves, bigger than their business. They believe in the ripple effect of the work that they're doing. It does not have to be in the form of a nonprofit. It could be simply the ripple effect that your business is making. I know for me, when I really sit in how the work that I'm doing is making the world a better place, it's making women stronger leaders and better role models. It is changing the lives of their children. And honestly, I feel like I'm here to facilitate the work that my community, my students, my clients are doing. And I witnessed that in that full circle moment when I went to Rocky and Summer, 2 of my community members, 2 of my Elevate members, retreat. And I just went as an attendee, but that retreat would have never happened if it wasn't for Elevate and Inspire. And that retreat changed lives that I didn't even touch. And I got to witness the ripple effect of the work that I'm doing. What a special gift to me that was, that I wasn't even thinking about or expecting. And I feel like that's what my purpose here on the planet is to help more people do what they love and not only make a living, yes, to make a living and support their families and be better leaders. That's what Elevate is about. But to really lean into the ripple effect of the work that they're doing and the positive effect that it could have on the planet 20 years from now. And that's what I want in these 6 people. The 6 people that are so committed to their vision that they will do anything, and they know that it starts with one person, right? If Summer and Rocky were my only students, my only members of Elevate, and I got to witness that ripple effect, that's enough for me. And that's really important when you fill a room, is that it's not going 0 to 100 overnight. It's one person at a time. And that adds up over the years. Charity Water started with one well. So it's about $10,000 for every well that they build. And it started with one. Let's just raise $10,000 and build one water well for one, little town that does not have water. And when you see the water come out, of the earth for the first time, and all these children drinking and playing in the clean water, like that's just the beginning. That's just the first project. And it's a really cool site, program, website, all the things. I really encourage you to go look. You can see where they've built all the different wells and the impact that it's had. And it's just a really powerful movement. And I got so much more from that presentation. Of course I made a donation, but I got so much more than that by just thinking about what's possible for people like this man who started Charity Water, and how cool it would be to really kick that off, and people who have these visions and these dreams that haven't moved them forward yet, that haven't just gotten started, to find 6 of them. So I will have everything that you need to sign up for the wait list for this at elizabethhenson.co/bigpurpose. Let me just double check that. Yes, elizabethhenson.co/bigpurpose. And there will be a wait list, which I will announce the application when it's ready. If it's not ready by the time this goes live, you will get an email as soon as the application is ready. And in the month of January, I will be doing a private podcast, a secret podcast, to tell people more about it and to go much deeper on this specific mastermind and getting people to fill out the applications, because it didn't feel right to just do a webinar launch. It didn't feel right to try to explain this to people in an email. I said, it's got to come from a deeper connection. And you know, the podcast is where I love to do that. So it will be, everything you need will be at that link, elizabethhenson.co/bigpurpose. And as soon as it's time to sign up for the podcast or to fill out the applications, you will be first to know. And my request for anyone that hears this is, if this is not for you, please, please, please pass it on to someone who might be interested. Because I don't just need 6 to apply. I need lots and lots to apply so I can pick the best of the best of the best 6. And I don't mean best as far as successful. I don't care if you have $1 in your bank account. I mean, you'll have to be able to invest in the mastermind, but I mean, as far as your business. But the conversations we are going to be having are not going to be, here's how to set up an email list, here's how to do your social media marketing. These are going to be really big conversations like, okay, I need $30 million to start. How the heck do I start raising that kind of money? You know, these are the conversations we're going to be having. Or what do I need to do, you know, legally to get this started? I don't have these answers, but I will bring in the right people. Masterminds are not always about being profitable, but the money invested in a mastermind, in the best masterminds, a lot of it goes back into resources and the experience. So I'm very excited about this. It's all an experiment. So, you know, like, no skin off my back. If no one's interested, I will continue to pursue the work that I'm doing. But I know people will be. And I know there are people that already are. And I already have people in mind that I'll be reaching out to. But if you're hearing this and if it didn't call your name, I want you to send it to someone who it might. And that would mean the world to me. And share it, leave us a review, all the things. Happy 2025. Oh my gosh. I hope that you're celebrating. I hope that you are honoring all the work that you did in 2024, even if it felt hard or difficult or didn't go the way that you wanted it to. Honor the lessons that you learned. My next episode, I'm going to talk about my biggest learning lesson of 2024, which kind of stems from 2023. But that I'm finding the lessons and the blessings in that, if we even will call it a mistake, or in that quest, that journey, that big fat lesson. So I'll see you guys in the next episode, but thank you so much for listening. This is very, very special to me, and it feels, you know, like my purpose and my life's work, and just the next step in my forever business model, which is really exciting. If you've been listening to the podcast for a long time, you have been able to witness all of this experimenting and pivoting and letting go and letting in and releasing and growing and releasing and growing. And it's such a document of my journey. And I tried a lot of things. They were all under the same kind of umbrella of expertise. But, you know, if you remember back when I was doing a lot of the community management, that was me doing what I'm really good at. That was not me being in my biggest purpose. And that's the difference. We can get really stuck in doing what we're really good at, but what we're really good at may not be our actual dharma. It's just something we're good at. And I had to go on that journey to realize, like, just because I'm really good at something doesn't mean that it's what I want to do for the rest of my life. But when you hit on the thing that you do want to do for the rest of your life, that you do feel like you enjoy to that extent, and then you figure out how to use what you're really good at to expand that, to level that up, then you're really on to something. So, okay. Thank you guys so much for listening. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I wouldn't be here without you. Okay. I'll see you soon.